Hello, my name is Ron Cross of the ParkTrent Properties Group throughout Australia, and today I'm very pleased to introduce you to Peter, who's come down from the Gold Coast. Peter with a wonderful product that he has now, and it's called No.1 Grant Avenue, and it's on Hope Island. And let me tell you, I'm excited about this product. It's something very, very special. What's important about it is its location, the aspect, and also the sizes, and most importantly, Peter, the pricing. How do you do it? How can you put this product together, magnificently placed in the world, fabulous location, as I say, and the price point is unbelievable. How can you do it?
Well, Ron, thank you. I suppose at Aniko we're able to deliver this sort of product at such a competitive price for a...
Well, can I just pull you up there? So Aniko is a Japanese company, I take it, is it?
No, it's not. It's a Gold Coast based development company. We're local Gold Coast people, but yes, we're certainly...
And Aniko is not Japanese, so it's absolutely Gold Coast. Gold Coast born and bred?
No, it's actually from our founder's Greek heritage. George Mastercrostas is our founder and managing director. And he named the company Aniko, which actually in Greek means to belong.
Oh, so that's the story behind the name, to belong.
That's it.
Well, you've certainly got it right, because I've been a frequent visitor to the Gold Coast over many, many years, and also our offices up there. We manage lots and lots of property, and we've probably sold thousands and thousands of pieces of real estate. But let me tell you, Peter, quite comfortably, this is one of the best projects I've ever looked at, and congratulations on what you've been able to develop here.
Thank you, Ron. No, we're very proud of it, and it's such an exciting project in such an exciting growth area on the Gold Coast.
The open spaces really appealed to myself. The balconies are very large, plenty of natural light, flow-through ventilation is what you need. Yeah. And also the other thing is probably, it's so close to the water, I could do some fishing from my lounge room.
Could
I do that?
Yes, absolutely, you could.
Wonderful.
Yes, no doubt at all.
Now let's tell our viewers exactly where it is on the Gold Coast, because this is now becoming a precinct in its own right. It's the northern part of the Gold Coast, it's Hope Island.
Yes, it's situated in the North Shore precinct of the Gold Coast, and situated in Hope Island. We're actually on the island of Hope Island suburb.
Yes.
So we're approximately 40 minutes south of Brisbane and about 20 minutes into Surfers Paradise. My understanding in the northern suburbs of each of our major cities, like the northern suburbs of Melbourne, the Epping areas, that area, they're flourishing and going quite well. Certainly the northern suburbs of Sydney are doing exactly the same, and the northern suburbs of Brisbane are performing quite well. So this is the northern suburbs of the Gold Coast, and it's very close to Brisbane too, so it's got everything around it, like Sanctuary Lake, Sanctuary Cove, that's there. Yep. Also Coomera, the Marina Centre there, and that's magnificent in its own right, isn't it? It employs over 5,000 people. Yes, it's a big employer. They're the marine precinct of the Gold Coast, so a lot of luxury boat manufacturers, including the likes of Riviera, Belize, and other major manufacturers are there, located in that precinct. We're also very close to the new university, Gold Coast University Hospital. That's another larger employer in the area. And we're also, obviously, being only 40 minutes to Brisbane, we've got easy access up there for those that wish to work up there.
Yes, certainly. And also you're close to 3 or 4 major golf courses.
Yes, we're basically surrounded by wonderful golf courses, including Sanctuary Cove and Hope Island Resort, both world-renowned golf courses. So they're literally at our doorstep.
Mm-hmm. What appeals to me is the location, as I say, the aspect, the size of the units. You've spared no expense on delivering a product, but yet it's very affordable. The price points, like to give the viewers an idea of the pricing starts at $380 and goes up to around the maximum of $670, which will buy them a large 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-car park, opportunity to talk and negotiate on a marina if they so wished. But these apartments are now, they're huge. They're 160, 170 square meters.
Yes.
Now the same thing in Sydney, and I actually had the opportunity to meet with some investors the other evening at DY in Sydney, which is a beautiful suburb in Sydney, much the same as Hope Island on the Gold Coast, and we were talking about price points and what you would get in DY, and the people were saying that these same apartments, the 3-bedroom, 3 bathrooms, would be in excess of $3 million in DY.
Yes, it wouldn't surprise me to be paying those prices in a suburb like DY in Sydney. And yes, you're right, Ron, here we are delivering magnificent product at very, very competitive prices. We can put your clients into a lovely waterfront 2-bedroom plus study apartment, circa 120 square metres, and you could be in that for the mid 500s.
And it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom?
2-bed, 2-bath plus study.
And car park.
And a car park.
Underground car park?
Yes, security.
For mid-5?
Mid-5s, yes, and that's 120 square metres, yes.
That's wonderful, isn't it? So that's getting down to probably 5,000 a square metre.
Look, a lot of our stock is priced from 4,000 a metre, and when you analyse the total stock, the average price that we had in the project sits at around about 4,400 a metre.
Lovely, yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
Now, I've been visiting and doing business on the Gold Coast for the last 45, 50 years, and we've seen some dramatic changes there. And I was up there just a week or so ago now, and the thing that's impressed me is the amount of people that were coming in from all over the world, not only from Asia, but also from Europe. I was listening to them when we were at the baggage handling situation, picking up our bags, and the different languages that were coming there. We were from Spain, and we're from France, and there was a couple of American people there, but a lot of Asians, as we know, from China and Malaysia. But the other thing that's impressed me is the new extensions to the airport. It's magnificent what they're building. They're spending lots and lots of money, and that must be because the tourism trade's picked up. But the other thing that's important to understand is the growth on the residents that are living on the Gold Coast. I believe right at the minute that the population there is around 600,000.
That's correct. Yep.
So what's the going forward? How do they see that growing? What's going to be the stats for that?
Yeah, look, I've read some reports where they're saying that our current population is circa 600,000. By 2036, they're indicating we'd be at 1.2 million on the Gold Coast.
You're saying, so in 17 years, the population is going to double?
Almost, well, 16 years we'd say, Ron, at this point, wouldn't we? This year's
no.
over.
Typical developer. No, it's 17 years to go. They're a bit close to 17 years to go. So they say it's going to double.
Yes, that's exactly right. So the population growth is phenomenal.
So that means tremendous, tremendous opportunities for people buying into this project now at these very affordable prices. When I say affordable, I should change that. I should say wonderful, wonderful pricing that you've got on them. You've done so well with that. I've never seen anything anywhere in a vibrant area and great location at this price point.
Look, I agree, Ron. I've been involved in this industry for many years myself, and to think that we're delivering, a 22-metre pool, we've got, spas, we've got saunas, we've got residence lounges, we've got residence movie theatres, we've got a Michelle Bridges designed fitness centre. It's 250 square metre. Fully fledged fitness centre that you would see in a commercial gymnasium being incorporated into the project. We have child play facilities, playrooms as well. We even go as far as putting in a pet wash bay for the dogs. So,
the dogs, that's very handy for myself and my dogs. And also I've looked at the costing for the body corporate and the upkeep of the building, and it's very reasonable.
Yep. Yeah. They're from around $55 through to about $76 for the largest apartments. So they're very competitive for body corporate, yes.
And we're looking at a startup rent that is going to be guaranteed by you, the developer, of 5.2%. So on a $670,000 apartment, the rents are going to be around $650 per week.
Yep, that's correct, Ron. Yes.
So with the tax implication for negative gearing components, these are going to be negatively geared, with a positive result, borrowing 100% of the money. It's not a bad opportunity for people in the southern states, in the Sydney market or the Melbourne market, now looking at these products and possibly thinking about retiring on the Gold Coast in the next 5 or 6 years. In the meantime, they can get somebody in the taxman to pay down that debt for them, and they'll have a nice little place for the grandchildren to come and visit them.
Look, you certainly will, there's no doubt about that, and what a great concept to think that you can use this as your investment property and then one day move up to beautiful Gold Coast and enjoy an absolute wonderful lifestyle in a magnificent project. It's just a wonderful opportunity.
Well, you've got to look at also the other side of it too. When we get a bit aged, we start getting arthritis and that, we need to go to a warmer climate. And we're better to go to than the Gold Coast.
Look, absolutely. And as I said before, you know, we've got lots of infrastructure going on the Gold Coast. We've got the new hospital just down the road. There's so much going on. Ron, you realise that the government are now talking about putting through an M2 from Brisbane to the Gold Coast, and guess where they're going to take that through?
Adjacent to
Hope
Island.
Adjacent to Hope Island, that's
Yeah.
right. So they've looked at it and they can see the population growth. There's a new Hope Island train station that's been mooted, so that should be there within the next couple of years. It's a really exciting area and it's growing phenomenally.
One thing that I've noticed about Queensland, they've got the infrastructure a little bit ahead of the game plan. They've actually, like the M1 now, it's an 8-lane highway.
Yep.
Either way, isn't it? 8-lane?
Yep.
And it's congested, so they're now going to do the M2,
Correct.
which will help and add value to these situations. But the situation that we need to be talking about is the people that live on Hope Island don't have to go anywhere, because you've got the new markets there, you've got the Coomera Shopping Centre, you've got everything that you need. In fact, it's all within walking distance.
Yep.
So not only do you get a great lifestyle, it actually enhances your life because it makes you exercise.
It does. It's a great walkability score there at
Yeah.
Hope Island. The new Hope Island Marketplace, which is directly across the water from 1 Grant Avenue, you'd walk over there in about 3 or 4 minutes. Magnificent facility they've put there. Massive Woolworths. I think it's one of the largest in Australia. Another big Aldi store there adjacent to the Woolworths. You've got restaurants there, coffee shops, there's Japanese restaurants, there's Chinese restaurants, you name it, it's all there. Not only that, we're only a very short drive down to Paradise Point, which is on the Esplanade. You've got a whole plethora of restaurants and cafes overlooking the Broadwater, a magnificent place to live.
I actually have business associates at Paradise Point and I go there quite regular. And I disguise it as a meeting of business, but it's only to have coffee in
Yes.
that lunch.
Not a bad spot to have a coffee.
Very nice place to park yourself for a few hours. It's Tranquility Plus.
It is a lovely spot.
But the Gold Coast has always been something that's intrigued me because the massive tourism businesses that they've been doing over many, many years. And now they've got direct flights into China, direct flights virtually all over the world coming back into the Gold Coast there. And this is enhancing the people visiting there. And when you walk around the Gold Coast, as I do on a regular basis, it's amazing where these people have come from.
Look, the Gold Coast is an international melting pot. We've got people coming in from all over the world every day of the week. Yeah. It's an amazing place, and you can meet people from all over the world. And they come, they enjoy the Gold Coast, and they want to own a piece of paradise. And they subsequently often come back, and they relocate to the Gold Coast. For all the reasons that we know why it's such a wonderful place. You know, you've got the hinterland just out behind us, which is magnificent. You've got Mount Tambourine with all the rainforests up there, Ron, it's amazing. You've got South Stradbroke Island at our doorstep. You've got North Stradbroke Island just adjacent to that as well. You can go down through the Broadwater on your boat, down to Surfers Paradise. You can go by boat all the way up to the Sunshine Coast and not even go offshore. Moreton Bay is one of Australia's best kept secrets. I believe there's more islands in Moreton Bay than there are on the Whitsundays. It's truly amazing and a beautiful place to live.
Yeah, and a number of things that we need to take into account is that there's the two most important things that people have told me over many, many years have been in the investment property marketplace. They say the two things that really helps lift the property values is water and golf. This has got both. Water and golf. Like, you're sitting right there, you can have your marina, you can have your little boat, wonderful, and you can go out to the ocean if you're so wishing you're game enough to do that.
Sure.
So it's got the water and it's got the golf, so it can't fail.
No, exactly right. Waterfront properties, golf-front properties, they've been proven to be sound investments for many years. And Fortunately for Grant Avenue, we've got the waterfront, but they're not building any more of it.
They're not building it.
No,
and you can't replace this location. You're sitting right on there. The thing is, so the apartments, they're huge, they're large. Tell me, we've got good appliances in there. What type of air conditioning do we have?
Yep.
The appliances that you're going to be putting in?
Yeah, so look, we would be putting in Bosch appliances, so very good.
Well, that's first class.
Yeah, very, very good European appliances. The apartments are designed to let a lot of airflow through. Obviously in Queensland, it gets quite warm in the summer, so we've got ducted air conditioning as well.
So the apartments all ducted air as well?
Yes, correct. Yes.
It's amazing how you've done this. You've left no stone unturned to deliver quality plus at a very, very good pricing. Now, Peter, we know that we have a fabulous product. We know that the location is superb. The design, configuration, and also the inclusions, as you've said, are first class. But tell me, what can our clients that are buying in this property expect as far as capital value increases? What's the history of Hope Island, and how do you see it going forward?
Yes, good question, Ron. Hope Island's enjoyed a medium apartment price growth of around 6.7% per annum since 2012. So the average price there was $385,000 for an apartment back in 2012. 2018 it had risen to $567,000, so enjoying very strong capital growth. The average home price in Hope Island, it's become the 7th suburb on the Gold Coast to have a medium price of $1 million. So for us to be able to deliver apartments in that marketplace from $369,000 is quite astounding.
Yeah, so it's telling us now, the history tells us, and the future is certainly going to be much the same, that this is not only going to be a wonderful lifestyle and an opportunity, but it's also going to be a fabulous investment.
Look, I think so. We've got strong population growth, we've got strong jobs growth, there's limited supply of waterfront properties left. We've got one of the last remaining sites. So putting all those things together, I think is a very good formula for long-term capital growth.
If we can just put the Gold Coast, Hope Island, Century Cove all in one basket, my research team is telling me there's an undersupply of dwellings there right at this point in time. It's one of the unique areas in Australia where we have undersupply and no oversupply. Do you agree with that?
Look, absolutely, Ron. Your research team is correct. Urbis, an independent research house, recently come out and did a survey on Hope Island precinct, the North Shore precinct of the Gold Coast. And as at the last quarter of 2018, I believe there are only 49 apartments available for sale in the entire North Shore precinct, so critically undersupplied, and I think that's been the formula, well, partly the formula for our success, along with our product, obviously.
Lovely. Now, I'm not asking you to disclose this, but can you tell us, what have you sold in stage one? I know stage one now will be completed mid next year, and stage two will be the later part of next year. What have you sold so far out of the availability products there? How many have you sold? Have you sold 10%?
A little more than that, Ron. We launched publicly on the 14th of August. We started construction on the 15th of August, and we've sold to date 55% of stage one.
So 55% of stage one. Now the next critical question is, who's buying them? Have you sold them all overseas, or have you sold them to locals?
Look, the majority of buyers that are walking into our sales centre are downsizers, they're empty nesters, they're people that live locally in the area, they've lived there for 20, 25 years, and perhaps the kids have grown up and they're looking to downsize to an apartment. They don't want to leave the area because they love the area so much. So we've had a big uptake of those sorts of buyers coming in, buying the large three-bedroom apartments with 2 cars, 3 bathrooms. Equally so, the larger 2-bedroom apartments plus study. So we've had a lot of those sort of buyers come in. We've had some investors as well, obviously buying into the smaller 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, but the vast majority of our buyers walking into our sales centre are the downsizers.
Well, if the local people are buying it and endorsing the product, that adds the value for our viewers here today to understand that when the local people are buying and moving into it, it's got to be good value.
Look, I think so. To date, about 70% of the apartments are going to owner-occupiers and about 30% to investors.
That's a good ratio. And one of the other things that I might like to say that we're experiencing, particularly in the Melbourne market where we have large activities there and we sell many, many properties into the Melbourne Victorian market, is we're finding that lots of people are approaching us now to amalgamate the 2-bedroom and the 1-bedroom together for the empty nesting so that they can move out of the Hawthorn suburbs and get a bigger apartment, sell their home and have that cash for retirement. But they're putting the 1 and 2 together. They don't have to do it with your product. No, it's already done.
It's already done, that's right.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's already done and it's half the price.
It is half the price and it's waterfront.
And it's waterfront. Now, Peter, we've got your product. We're absolutely over the moon about it. Have you got some special offers that we can offer now, exclusive to ParkTrent, mind you, that we can offer our clients?
Well, Ron, seeing as you ask,
it's my job to ask.
Look, for ParkTrent clients, we're happy to offer a 12-month rental guarantee at $1 in 1,000, which equates to 5.2%. So, for example, if you buy an apartment off us for $500,000, we'll guarantee the rent at $500 per week.
Lovely, good, excellent.
The other thing that we can do for your clients is install the window blinds free of charge.
And that's a good cost saver.
Yes, absolutely. So your apartment becomes rent ready from the day you buy it.
Yes.
And the other point that you raised over our cup of coffee earlier this morning was that perhaps we should be giving a 1-year free body corporate to your clients. So Ron, we will do that as well. It's wonderful to live on the Gold Coast. We do have world-class beaches. We are the tourism mecca of Australia.
Definitely.
I think by visitor numbers too, in terms of per capita, we're second only in the world to Las Vegas. So the Gold Coast is a wonderful place to visit and an even better place to live. So we'd love your investors to purchase there and one day come and live with us on the Gold Coast.
And the thing that's important, Peter, it's not overly expensive to go there. There's plenty of competitiveness for room hire, and the meals are wonderful. Like as I say, I spent a lot of time there, and the room tariffs are quite good. The meals, the variety of food, and the eating places are wonderful. It's an experience that you should experience, and also when you're there, you can be looking at Peter's display, and hopefully we can do some business with you. Peter, thank you so much for coming with us this morning. Now, I've found out so much because naturally we had a cup of coffee before we came into Studio One.
Yep.
This is a wonderful opportunity for everyone that can understand quality plus, location plus, priced perfectly. All they've got to do to find out more is appointment.parktrent.com.au. Appointment.parktrent.com.au. Please do it now before Peter sells all these properties up there himself.